And you're back with Third Degree. This week, it's our 250 million rand show. Well, Matric certainly did better than previous years, but there are still huge inequalities in our education system. The bottom line, if you live in a poorer area, in all likelihood, your school will not have the most basic amenities. Well, with our imaginary checkbook in hand, what would 250 million rand buy? In December 2011, the Department of Basic Education took over education in the Eastern Cape and Limpopo. It was an admission that schooling there was in crisis. That would be the end of the problem, or so everyone thought. Little did anyone suspect that even under the National Task Team, something as routine as getting textbooks to schools would fail so dismally. For the minister, it was little more than a logistical hiccup.
I think it is a problem, but the problem is not necessarily a crisis.
But many parents saw it as exactly that.
It was left to
an NGO, Section 27, to force government via a court order to do their job. Most books were finally delivered at the end of June, halfway through the year. The crisis was well underway before national government took over. There was mismanagement, overspending, and massive debt. In the end, the province did not have enough money to order books on time. So an additional 250 million rand, the money that is to be spent on Nkandla, would have gone a long way to prevent the crisis in the first place. We spoke to Section 27 about what exactly 250 million rand could buy.
In terms of textbooks, if you go at an average of 100 rand per learner per year, you can get textbooks for about 2.5 million learners for a year.
We also desperately need more schools and classrooms. 250 million rand would certainly make a massive improvement in that area. In 2011, Third Degree visited a school in Swartboom in the Northwest Province. The school did not have what more affluent pupils take for granted.
We just lack some of the resources to make them learners in the true sense, so that even if they go out passing their grade 12, go out into the outside world, they should be able to can rub shoulders with their counterparts. They should not feel inferior, you know. Yeah, because they should be complete students.
This room served as school hall, school library, and the principal's office. On this particular day, it was a science lab. They were performing an experiment.
It's not that much accurate. So we have just to do that because we don't have a laboratory. So we are just improvising.
There was no fridge, so for the experiment, a student was sent to a local shop to get ice.
You pour the ice into ice cube and then you measure the temperature.
They did not have a Bunsen burner. They made do with a two-plate stove.
As a result, most learners don't take this subject, and which is very important, that is physical science. Why? Because they know we don't have a laboratory, and those experiments cannot be done optimally.
An October 2012 World Economic Forum report says we are the worst in maths and science in the world. Out of 62 countries, we rank last. With proper resources, our dismal performance might start to improve.
With that 250 million, you can do a number of things. If you're looking at building new schools from scratch, you can build about 10 new fully equipped schools for a province like Limpopo, so a rural province. If you're just talking about classrooms, we're talking about 150 new classrooms. And upgrades to classrooms, we're talking about 250 upgrades of poor existing infrastructure. If we look at school sanitation, which is a major challenge in a province like Limpopo and the Eastern Cape, we can build about 8,400 toilets, enviroloos, which are recommended for rural schools as good sanitation.
And the Eastern Cape and Limpopo desperately need all the help they can get.
Limpopo, last year they stood at 63.9%. They improved to 66.9%.
Despite some improvement in their matric results, they were still bottom of the class in 2012.
It really gives me great pleasure to announce that the national pass rate for the class of 2012 is 73.9%.
While the national pass rate improved, over 1.1 million pupils registered for Grade 1 back in 2001. Of those, just over 500,000 wrote their matric in 2012. And of these, only 377,829 pupils passed. Scandalously, they never made it to matric for a variety of reasons: the cost of transport, uniforms, feeding schemes. 250 million rand to subsidise poorer students might just see fewer dropouts. Kids happy and healthy and eager to learn. Coming up, we're not done spending. We tell you how many houses and toilets you could purchase with all those millions.